Well, I'm kind of speechless. Me? Video Joe speechless. That's a good one. It looks exactly like where we left off on my last video. But guess what? This is the very next afternoon, evening, actually evening. The sun is just going over the ridge up over here. I thought for sure if I would have bet money, I would have lost that bet, betting that today they would have built all these walls, or at least 3/4 of them. But you know what? Nobody showed today. Isn't that something? That's a little discouraging, you know. Let's just talk about this a little bit. We've got 1 day of scheduling right there, and if you've been with me since day one, there were some rain delays. There was some days before the flooring went down, after the plumbing got done, after the air conditioning underneath the floor got done. There was 4 or 5 day delay after that before they put the floor down. Well, actually there was a 2 or 3 day delay then, and then they started putting the floor down, and then after they got the floor installed, there was still another 3 or 4 day delay after that before they came out and laid out the floor. Now I thought, you know, usually when the framers come here, they want to get this thing up and going, you know. But apparently, maybe yesterday they had some free time to come out here to lay out the floors, and they might have told the owner, hey, we can't do anything until next week. As it is, today's Friday, so they've lost today. And no, you know, could they be working this weekend? Maybe if they're trying to fit this in between other projects, that's a possibility. But I would say, given what I've seen so far, out of 4 weeks, they've almost had a total of 2 weeks of delays. 5 weeks in, 2 week delay, and so you can see how every day counts, especially if you had, let's say you had a construction loan. Then you'd be chomping at the bit, because every week that goes by, you've got to pay extra money until your job gets done. Because when you have a construction loan, they're not going to keep paying for it, and they're not going to call it done until you get a final inspection, and before they'll turn that into maybe a 30-year fixed loan or something like that. Now, you know, as it is, maybe you're in a position like this guy, and I don't know his position. I'm just making the assumption. This guy maybe he doesn't need a loan at all. Hey, if you don't need a loan at all, you got a couple week delay, okay, fine. Throughout the whole thing, if you got 2 or 3 months delays total out of an 8-month project, a 9-month project, fine, no biggie. But if you're somebody that you're building this as a spec house, let's say, a house where you're going to put it for sale at the end, and if you have to get a construction loan, hey, you want to get this thing done. Once you start it, there's no reason for all these different delays. But I'm telling you, that's just what happens after time. A couple days here, 1 day there, 2 days here, and then it just starts throwing everything else off. Now maybe they know that the trusses aren't gonna come in for another week and a half, and the guys know that next week they got to frame out the rest of the walls, and there's still going to be a delay before the trusses come. Okay, so stuff like that, things to think about for sure. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos.